Two ways to hang a walkway. They differ by one detail. One of them killed 114 people. Nothing about the change that killed them looked dangerous. It was approved in a phone call by an engineer who did no arithmetic, because on paper it was a detailing convenience. This is how that happened. Kansas City, May 1978. Ground breaks on a 40-story hotel at Crown Center. Interest rates are in double digits, unemployment is high, and contractors are under pressure to build fast and cheap. The centerpiece is an atrium 4 stories tall, crossed by 3 suspended walkways. Second floor, third floor, fourth floor, no columns. They hang in open air on steel rods anchored to the roof framing. In October 1979, while the hotel is still being built, 2,500 square feet of the atrium roof falls in. Nobody is hurt. The project continues. Each walkway is 120 feet long. Each weighs 64,000 pounds. 29 tons of steel and concrete suspended over a public room on rods 1.25 inches thick. As designed, one continuous rod ran from the roof framing down through the box beam of the 4th floor walkway and on down to the 2nd. A nut at the 4th floor, a nut at the 2nd. Each connection carried one walkway and one only. That is the load path. The weight of the lower walkway never touched the upper one. It traveled up the rod, past the 4th floor and into the roof. Then the steel fabricator raised a practical objection. To fit a nut partway up a continuous rod, you would have to cut a thread along most of its length, then drive that nut up 40 feet of thread. The threads would be damaged before the walkway was ever hung. So they proposed something simpler. Use 2 shorter rods instead of one long one. Hang the 4th floor from the roof, then hang the 2nd floor from the 4th. The proposal went to the engineers of record. It was accepted in a telephone call by an engineer named Daniel Duncan. No calculation was performed, no revised drawing was analyzed. The change was not treated as a change to the structure, because to everyone involved it did not look like one. That phrase, engineer of record, is not a courtesy. It is the person who seals the drawings, and whose seal is the statement that the structure has been checked and is sound. In this case, the seal was applied. The check was not. But the lower walkway now hung from the upper one. Its entire weight was no longer traveling past the 4th floor. It was stopping there. One connection, 2 walkways. The load doubled. And look at what was carrying it. Not a casting, not a forging. 2 steel channels laid toe to toe and welded along a seam, forming a hollow box. The rod passed through a hole in that box, and a nut and washer bore against the underside. The Kansas City Building Code required that connection to carry 68 kips, 68,000 pounds. As built, its ultimate capacity was 18.6, just over a quarter of what the code demanded. And the change is not the whole story. The original design, the one with the single continuous rod, met only about 60% of code. It was never adequate. The change took a structure that was already under strength and halved it. Friday, the 17th of July, 1981. The hotel is holding a tea dance in the atrium. Around 1,600 people are in the room. Some are dancing, some are watching from the walkways, because the walkways are the best seats in the house. Roughly 40 people are standing on the 2nd floor walkway, 16 to 20 on the 4th, directly above them. At 7:05, people in the atrium hear popping sounds. A nut on the 4th floor walkway does not shear. The rod does not snap. The welded seam of the box beam opens and the nut pulls straight through the bottom of the beam. That connection is now carrying nothing. Its load transfers instantly to the connections either side of it, which were never adequate either. They pull through in turn. The walkway drops a few inches, hangs for a moment, and then the whole assembly unzips across the atrium. 58 tons of walkway fell into a crowded room. The third-floor walkway did not move. It hung on its own axis, on its own rods, carrying its own weight to the roof, exactly as all three had been designed to do. It is still the clearest evidence of what the original drawing would have held. The rescue took 14 hours. Fire department equipment could not lift what had fallen, so the city's construction firms emptied their yards. Cranes were driven through the lobby windows. Volunteers brought jacks, compressors, jackhammers, concrete saws. One deputy chief remembered being told, "Take what you want." The power was cut to stop fires, and the crews worked in the dark. Ruptured sprinklers flooded the lobby, and people pinned under the walkways were in danger of drowning before they could be reached. The last man pulled out had been trapped for over 9 hours. 114 people were killed. 216 were injured. Until the 11th of September, 2001, it was the deadliest structural failure in American history. The National Bureau of Standards examined the connections and reached a conclusion that is worse than it first sounds. The walkways had almost no capacity to carry anything beyond their own weight. They would have failed that night with a third of the people who were standing on them. Which means this was not a freak event, and it was not bad luck. The walkways were not overloaded by the crowd. They were built to fail, and the crowd was simply what was standing there when they did. Missouri's licensing board found the engineers of record guilty of gross negligence, misconduct, and unprofessional conduct. They lost their licenses in Missouri, Kansas, and Texas, and their membership of the American Society of Civil Engineers. More than 300 lawsuits followed. Jack Gillum, the engineer of record, spent the rest of his life lecturing on the collapse. He said the flaw was one that any first-year engineering student could have found, if anyone had checked. The profession changed because of it. The American Society of Civil Engineers set out formally that the structural engineer is responsible for reviewing the fabricator's shop drawings. Kansas City made its codes department independent, doubled its staff, and assigned engineers to review every project. It took 34 years for the city to build a memorial. It stands in a park across the road from the hotel, which reopened 76 days after the collapse and is still open today. But the reason this case is taught in nearly every engineering ethics course in America is simpler than any of that. A connection does not care how small the change looked on paper. It carries whatever the load path gives it. And the most dangerous revision is always the one that appears to change nothing.